So, in this video, we're going to speak on black fatigue. This is not black culture. This is ghetto culture. This is nigger culture. This is death culture. This is negativity for communities. Do your homework on negativity for communities. So I'm MasoMoney, right? We're about to watch this video together. And basically, it's talking about the promotion of negative stuff. And now it's black fatigue because it's considered black culture to be negative and dumb and just completely illiterate, and it's being promoted within the community. So we got to get a full breakdown on what's going on in this video. All right, let's watch it together. Let's get straight into it.
It's getting spooky. I just came across something called black fatigue. And basically, it's white Americans are sick of our shit.
Yeah,
I got news for you. Black Americans are sick of your shit.
Yeah, me too. I'm tired of y'all ass.
People are sick of black people's
100%
shit.
Basically, society is saying that they're tired of how black people are blaming things that have happened to us historically in the past, and they are also now adding different things that they have seen in society to that behavior as well, like
100%.
loud mouthing or maybe, using certain words or certain behaviors in public.
Black fatigue seems to be growing, especially within the black community. There's a growing frustration within certain behaviors, and more people are starting to speak up about it.
Okay.
White people, black people, Hispanic people are saying we have black
We've had
fatigue
enough
because of the behavior of some black people.
It's not racist to call black people out for their behavior and what they're doing to
100%.
society at this moment. I'm glad.
That's the problem they had with the one guy who just died, the Kirk guy. He said a lot of this stuff about black culture. I mean,
People are noticing this
what are your thoughts on
because
that?
it's been so many years and it's finally catching up to y'all.
Right.
So, is there some truth to it, or is it just another form of racism?
True.
And how come so many black people are starting to speak up about this now?
Facts.
Either way, we got a lot to talk about today. Now, black fatigue is a growing term in the social media world, a phrase that's meant to explain a rising frustration, dissatisfaction, and even resentment towards a small portion of the black community and some of the dysfunctional behaviors that are increasingly being called out. But here's the thing, this isn't a new term. The phrase black fatigue was originally coined in 2020 by Mary Frances Winters, a black author from New York. She was inspired to explore the concept after hearing the same phrase come up again and again from black millennials. "I'm tired," they kept on saying. The exhaustion wasn't just physical, it ran deep, tied to emotion, history, and identity. In her book, Black Fatigue, How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body, and Spirit, she explains that the original meaning of the term was about the centuries-long toll of the systematic racism passed down through generations. Now that was the original definition, but now the term has taken on a completely new meaning.
Down to black fatigue, it has recently been turned into a feeling that some white and black people have who say they are damn tired of foolishness of some black people.
It is a completely behavior-based issue. And when white people, black people, Hispanic people are saying we have black fatigue because of the behavior of some black people, we've all seen it, we all know what it is.
100%.
It's everywhere.
There are thousands of TikToks on it, posts all over X, YouTube videos, and even some mainstream outlets starting to cover it. I only started hearing about this term very recently, and at first I assumed it was mostly coming from people outside the black community. But to my surprise, a large portion of the conversation is actually being led by black people, and that's when I knew that I had to do my own research by looking into this and sharing my take on it with you. Many of the most viral TikToks on this topics are coming from within the community itself.
Black fatigue is real. Everybody is tired of black people, but it's two specific types of black people that everyone is tired of. Number one, everybody is tired of loud, ghetto, and ratchet, and violent, and mean, and angry all the time. Everybody is tired of them. Nobody wants to deal with them. Even other black people do not want to deal with these people. You know when you see them in public, you know when they're going to give you attitude at the CVS. Everybody knows it, and they want to avoid it.
So how did we even get here? The answer to this can go in a few different directions. Let's talk about the most impactful factor of this, being the media. We're talking viral body cam footage of police encounters involving black people, to dine and dash stories that reinforce negative stereotypes.
Surveillance cameras caught 3 people leaving without paying a $200 bill for a shrimp and lobster dinner, according to the owners.
Or the countless...
So why you go get the lobster and shrimp and you know you broke? You know that you can go and get the ramen noodles. It's okay. Why are y'all going out places and just steal? Don't you realize I could never go to the store no more? Bro, I am so tired of what they doing. I can't even look how I want to look because they think,
The fights, whether it's on a street corner or inside a McDonald's. The majority of these clips tend to feature people who, look like me, and they also seem to go viral, like often shaping how outsiders view blackness as a whole. This type of content has definitely influenced how a lot of people, white, Hispanic, or even black folks, view the culture. Unfortunately, over time, it's helped reinforce harmful narratives, and in many cases has been used to normalize different forms of racism. And let's be clear, we all understand that none of the reactions rooted in these stereotypes are justified, because it's not fair or accurate to take the behavior of a few and apply it to an entire group. However, when certain behaviors are caught on camera and go viral over and over and over again, they unfortunately start to paint an image of the entire community based on a handful of viral clips. Not because they reflect us, because obviously, I'm not on that. If you're black, you're probably not on this. At the end of the day, though, all the viral content is based on real situations that happened in the real world. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the real-world examples that have been fueling this conversations, starting with the Dine and Dash incidents. Now, during the pandemic, or should I say the bandemic, in 2020, when the stimmy checks, the ban started hitting people's accounts and everybody started acting like Black Youngster when he first signed his record deal. Yes. The pandemic, the pandemic. Your money. We start seeing more of these so-called dine and dash videos pop up.
We've all heard of dining and dashing. That's when a customer comes into a restaurant, grabs a bite to eat, and then skips out on the bill, leaving the restaurant without paying.
For all my international viewers, dine and dash is when people go to a restaurant, stuff their greedy bellies with food, drinks, and all that you can possibly eat, and then they leave and they don't pay a single dime. This phenomenon or crime has always existed, but it became increasingly common in America after the pandemic.
They watched as the party of 7 sat at their table, their food already packaged in to-go boxes. Then they began to get up and eventually run out the restaurant's door, leaving their $200 bill unpaid.
So these clips of large groups walking out without paying began to go viral after 2020. And as it relates to the topic at hand, unfortunately, the majority of the people in those videos were black, and that obviously makes us look very bad. Now, is it all black folks? Of course not, because we're not a monolith. The behavior of one individual doesn't mean the next person is going to show up in the same way, so applying that assumption broadly would be inaccurate. I mean, if you're black, if you're watching this, I'm sure we're probably going to relate, but I would personally never go to a restaurant if I knew that my account was empty. I mean, at that point, we're having sleep for dinner because we're grown, okay? However, with that being said, one thing I've consistently heard from a lot of my friends in the service industry, I'm talking waiters and waitresses and even restaurant managers, is that black customers are the hardest to serve. Now, this has not only been said by all races of people, but I'm saying like other black folks in the service industry are saying this, okay? Whether it's not tipping, sending food back too often, we're asking for refunds after they've ate. It's often said that those things are more common among black customers. So that's the perception a lot of people in the service industry have of us, which is very unfortunate and it's very sad. I mean, it's not a comfortable thing to acknowledge or even talk about.
Now, one thing about me that y'all gonna learn the more and more y'all watch, I really don't care what you think about me. Do your homework. I don't care what you think about nobody else. I don't care what you think about me. I'm gonna do what I do. Now, I agree with them that these people are definitely trying to get over instead of living a righteous life. But that always returns to you. You went and dine and dash, so that means you have other bad habits in life. For some reason, you think that getting over in one situation is good for you. It's just making a stereotype about your community, and your life's not going to get better for the one crime that you just committed.
I hate the fact that some people might expect a certain type of behavior of people who look like me as soon as, let's say, we might step into a spot, right?
Yeah.
And although, the stereotype doesn't obviously apply to all black people like me or you, I can't, if you're black, that is, or if you're white, then obviously I ain't talking about you, right? I can't ignore the experiences they've shared with me. Now let's dive into the dine and dash stuff a little more. Because speaking of a particular incident, which was one of the news stories I played you earlier, it went viral a few weeks ago. A black-owned restaurant in Chicago called Flaves served 3 people, 2 women and a man, all black, and they decided to run up a tab of over $200 of shrimp and lobster, okay, and a bunch of drinks too. And then they decided to run out the spot.
It's actually disappointing. It's very disappointing to see that from the community that we actually serve, because we pour into our community. We're a small business, and And I see this happening so often to a lot of different small businesses throughout the city.
Now, I'm not saying that doing this to other groups of people, regardless of race, is okay, but it's extremely sad that this was...
It's really because a lot of black folks want to live outside of their means, so you're trying to go out and do things and go places and all this stuff, and you're not in a position to do this, your family's not in a position to do this, the people you hang with not in a position to do this, so y'all make a consensus decision to do things that are outside of your tax range because you're trying to live up to a image or expectation that you gave yourself in your mind from money that you got from not doing anything. That's what the pandemic did to a lot of people, especially in Chicago. It made people think that they were up here because they got free money with no work, and not understanding you probably won't get there anymore in life until you start making better decisions. Do your research on making better decisions.
Black folks doing this to other black folks. The young woman, the waitress who served the table, was a black woman who had kids at home, mind you. Her not getting a percentage of a tip literally means she's not going to be able to survive in this economy. Because in America, tipping isn't optional, it's survival. A lot of servers don't even make minimum wage. Their income depends on those tips. So when you dine and dash, you're not just finessing the system, you're hurting working class people, many of whom are black themselves, just trying to, make it through this world and this economy like the rest of us. By the way, really quickly, if you're enjoying this conversation, drop a like for the algorithm and subscribe if you want to hear from me and you want to see my ugly face, okay?
They apologize. They sent someone up here to pay the bill, but I declined to accept it. At that point, it was just like, we're gonna pursue this the right way.
And apparently they sent somebody to pay the tab on their behalf after they got exposed on social media. So you telling me that y'all didn't even have the decency to go in like grown folks and say, I apologize, I'm sorry, this economy is beating my ass. Not that it would make it okay, but you get what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even have the decency to actually go in and show your face. That's
you're a grown-ass man.
They sent another person to pay because they didn't have enough courage to show their faces in the establishment. What a shame. Now, another story that went viral, again, featuring black folks. Absolutely hate the fact that we're getting this type of PR, but it is what it is, right? This story involved 3 black women, once again, in Chicago. Can somebody tell me what's in the water in Chicago with all these incidents?
Why they keep putting on my block, man? Folks, every video I watch, they trying to play with Chicago like we all just goofies. See, this is why I had to make my own channel just to speak, because they gonna stop putting me in this category, folks. Do your homework. I had to turn on my full-on Chicago voice because they think I'm a goofy around this. I'm for them grave. I'm crashing out on for them black fatigue me. See, now I got my people's attention, y'all. I gotta feed in the ghetto culture, y'all. I gotta keep my people good so they can get up here. Sometimes I be having people in my comments like, why you talking like that? Yo, ask, sir, because if I talk to you like this, you're going to say, you're not even listening to what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? See, my voice doesn't sound very good. It's the look, isn't it? But my little brother not going to listen to me if I don't look like this. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to understand soon. Maybe when I get like a few subs and shit. But look, it's something about Chicago water. I kind of explained it earlier in the video, but that's what it is, gang.
Happening. The audacity of this particular story is next level because these 3 women didn't only dine and dash after a $262 bill. They were also caught in 4K, strike number 1.
The 3 women from Rochester, New York visited Soul Vibes in the Near North neighborhood to celebrate a birthday
they don't even
and left behind a surprise, an unpaid tab of over $200.
And they also made a reservation with their names, phone numbers, and personal info. Strike number 2.
They were spotted on surveillance, leaving one by one within 30 seconds of the server stepping away. They also forgot that they signed up on the wait list before being seated, including their name and phone number.
And strike number 3 is that they actually went on social media and they thanked a black-owned business for the free food that they stole, right? And that's how they ended up getting caught.
And to add insult to injury, they posted this onto social media, thanking the restaurant for the free food while laughing at waitstaff like Chloe Jackson.
You hear a lot of us screaming support black businesses, and this is how we treat each other. It's so sad, and it's also really hard to ignore that these types of crimes are becoming more and more common in general. And the fact that it's a lot of melanated folks doing this to other people who look like them, I mean, it's a shame. What do you want me to say? I'm not celebrating that I have to make this video. Like, it's actually an uncomfortable video to make because I'm not happy to see black businesses suffering because other people who look like them are literally stealing money from them. Like, I absolutely hate that I have to talk about this, and it breaks my heart. By the way, if you've been rocking with your boy for a while and want to support, just want to let you guys know that I dropped my first piece of merchandise recently. It's my brand, Blackie Apparel. As you can see, I'm actually rocking the t-shirt right now. Y'all want to support? The link is in the description below. But anyway, just want to let you know. Let's continue with the video. Black fatigue isn't really about race or skin color. It's about a culture, a mindset, that some black people are choosing to embody. Similar to the Hawaiian mindset topic that we recently spoke about, which is definitely a great video that I would recommend that you check out. The Hawaiian mindset is a term that's, of course, coined by me at this point, which describes a youth-driven culture often tied to erratic behavior that more often than not ends up describes a Hawaiian mindset is a term that's, of course, coined by me at this point, which describes a youth-driven culture often tied to erratic behavior that more often than not ends up harming others, whether it's stealing, robbing, or just being loud and belligerent in public spaces. Now, this culture that I'm talking about is separate from blackness itself. I mean, we're talking about a fatigue with what often is called ghetto culture. And ghetto culture is not black culture, nor is it foundational black American culture. When I say the word culture, by the way, I mean it in the actual definition. And the definition is the shared attitudes, behaviors, and values of a specific group of people. This isn't about race. It's a mindset that anyone can adopt, regardless of racial background. With that being said, I've seen this kind of behavior from white folks, Hispanic folks, and black folks, of course. So it's not about skin color. It's about class, environment, and ultimately how someone chooses to carry themselves.
100%.
Because the way you choose to walk through this life, your demeanor, your energy, that's not only something you can control, but it is a conscious decision. We all have a choice in how we show up.
Don't think.
So when I mention ghetto culture,
but there's one thing about it. He's saying the way you think. Some of these people don't think because they don't have the ability to think, right? So they put themselves in bad positions in life so much that they're so in survival mode that they're not giving it. Hold on, let me sage it for them. They're so in survival mode that they're not giving themselves the time to open up a new pathway of thinking. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that they have the ability to do better with themselves. So they just convert back to the negativity, which is being promoted, right? The first and quickest thing to access is negativity. Same way media could help you become a more positive, smarter person is the same way that my little bro keeps double tapping drill rap, big butts, and killing videos, right? He keeps liking it. He keeps liking it. He keeps liking it. So his whole feed is filled with so much negativity that he doesn't understand that he's becoming an idiot. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome.
I'm not talking about blackness. I'm talking about a specific pattern of behavior, which is undoubtedly dysfunctional and not a productive way of showing up in society. And a lot of it is often born from struggle, limited resources, and sometimes a rejection of accountability. And the accountability aspect is important because when black people are constantly boxed into a certain identity by the world, but especially by each other, it creates a mental and cultural trap, which is ironic because that kind of makes me think about trap music and the fact that trap music is a thing. Because when you really think about the name, it sounds like the soundtrack for a lifestyle designed to keep you stuck, trapped in survival mode, trap music, trapped in dysfunction, and ultimately trapped in the lower levels of society. And often when a black person within the community wants to grow, like they make a decision to actually grow or take a responsibility or move differently, they're met with pushback from their own people. They get told things like, you think you're
nigga, did I just catch you trying to be positive?
Better than us, or that's not how we do things. A lot of my black folks, I'm sure y'all can relate to exactly what I'm talking about right now. Elevating beyond who you used to be becomes a problem, and sticking with what you know becomes the norm, even if it means staying stuck in pain or dysfunction down the line. And the question is, why is this accountability issue even a thing in the first place?
I don't know.
Specifically within parts of the black community in America. Understanding this is not about making excuses, by the way, because we do have to acknowledge the subconscious effect of generations of instability and what it really does to people. When you grow up in environments where poverty is the norm, where instability is constant and neglect is a part of daily life, what happens is certain mindset start to form. You learn to cut corners because survival starts to feel more important than structure, and you begin to distrust institutions, which, to be fair, black people in America have had valid reasons to distrust for a long time.
100%.
You feel like the world around you has failed you, and that leads to behaviors rooted in avoidance, rebellion, and sometimes hopelessness. During the Jim Crow era, black people were stripped of opportunity, education, protection, and dignity. Entire communities were locked out of wealth, building, and basic rights, and that creates a ripple effect. When generation after generation is forced to adapt just to survive, it plants the seed for behaviors rooted in survival over structure. So right now we're talking about the psychological and subconscious effect of what's happening in history. But even with all that context, okay, with all that being said, I want to make something very clear. At the end of the day, how you show up in public spaces, whether you dine and dash or not, isn't about slavery or Jim Crow. It's about personal accountability. Whether you're white, black, Latino, Asian, purple, green, I don't care, blue. The truth is, people from all backgrounds are tired of ghetto culture.
Right.
And like we touched on earlier, ghetto culture and black culture are not the same thing
at all.
They've been falsely lumped together, especially by the entertainment industry, in order to sell an image, but they're not synonymous, and they are not the same thing. What's really happening is this. The bad behavior of a small group within a larger
see
group.
This wristwatch, nigga? Yeah, you see this wristwatch? I'm rich as hell. You see, I'm pushing the culture. I'm helping my little brother. We rich. We made it out the hood. This watch. Wait. Is my mom still in the ghetto? Wait. I can't pay for the meal I gotta eat. What the fuck? Why do I got this? Why didn't... You said a plain Jane costs 10 times as much as this? But how they gonna know I got motion? Wait, where am I? How is this possible? I'm the richest nigga in the trenches. Wait, people are rich in real life outside of my blog? What is happening? My fault, y'all.
Is being tied to race, when in reality it's about culture, class, and choices. And as someone who's black myself and has observed a lot of the mindsets that permeate within the black community, I think the one thing that's holding a lot of us back is the victimhood mentality. A lot of us as kids, through the media, the people around us, and through politics, are taught that the world should feel sorry for us based on what's happened in history. And yes, I do believe in educating ourselves and others on what's happened in history, right? Because it's very important to know. But I don't believe in letting history hold you back from writing your current story. Because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense. But ain't no way our ancestors went through all that just for us to feel sorry for ourselves. It doesn't make any sense. I've never been a fan of any group of people looking at me and saying, poor you because of this and this and that.
I don't want it.
Not only do I not want your sympathy, but you can keep that because I don't need it. What I say is my battle scars don't define me. They're just a part of my story. Fact. Now let's lighten the load for a second and talk about a viral story that ties into everything we've been talking about. The Carnival cruises. I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard about this one. For my
you know what I think I'm about to do? I'm gonna go on a Carnival cruise. I'm gonna take my whole family to Carnival cruise. I'm probably do it for Christmas. Go check my vlog channel. I'm gonna take my whole family to a Carnival cruise. I'm gonna give my mama a couple bands, and I'm gonna link up with all the niggas and make a vlog about it. Cause that's what my people want to see. So that's how I'm gonna change my bro life. Because he think that's success. But helping your family is success. So it's not successful if you do it by yourself and set yourself back. But if you do it for your family and make your family's life better and you reward your family, then you're doing the right thing. I'm just trying to help their mindset. If you already knew this, then I'm not talking to you. I'm trying to help my brother's mindset right now.
For national viewers, Carnival is a popular American cruise line that operates out of Florida. It's known for being affordable and a fun time. Minus the, drama, which we're going to get into in a second, right? A few weeks ago, Carnival put up a message to their guests with a list of new rules. Things like no loud music on speakers, no smoking in restricted areas, and no weed on board. Pretty basic stuff if you ask me. Now, there's a lot of backlash on social media about these new rules. Some people felt like Carnival was trying to push black folks out as customers, especially since more and more black people have been cruising in recent years. But let's be real, the backlash doesn't make no sense at all, okay? First of all, I'm generally confused as to why we'd assume those rules were automatically about us.
Niggas, bro.
Like, if you hear no fighting, no weed, no indecent clothes, and your first thought is they must be talking about black people, that says more about what's been normalized in some of our spaces than it does about the company's intentions. Because when I read those rules, I didn't associate them with black folks at all. My first thought was, okay, looks like they're just trying to filter out the chaos. It sounded like a business setting a standard for the type of crowd they want, not a coded attack on race. So the fact that so many people, especially in black Twitter, did take offense kind of shows how deeply some of these behaviors have been tied to our image, even when they shouldn't be. And honestly, I really take offense to that, okay? Because the rules didn't mention race, they mentioned behavior. Carnival is a business, and like any business, they want to create a safe environment for everyone. I mean, there's kids on these cruises, there's families, people who are just trying to relax, okay? Calling that racism waters down what real racism actually looks like, if you ask me. The truth is, the people complaining the loudest were probably the ones who had no intention of following the rules in the first place. And honestly, you know what? I'm just getting to that point where I'm tired. I'm just tired of a small group of loud, reckless individuals getting all this attention. And the rest of us just gotta get judged for the behavior of this very, small group of black people in the black community. Like, I'm tired of being boxed into stereotypes I don't relate to or condone. I'm tired of having to feel like I gotta prove I'm not like that just to get basic respect.
Who not like that? Say I'm not like that again. Say I'm not like that again, gang. We can fight right now. Say I'm not like that again. Who not like that? Nigga, you just call me positive, nigga? You just say I tried to change someone's life. Bro, stop playing with me, folk. I'm a gangster, folk. I'm from Chicago. We dine and dash. We shoot switches. We do a bunch of gangster shit. Stop playing with MasoMoney like he not the biggest gangster, folk. Y'all ass, his ass a goof. You see what I mean? No. See the older people, when I be out there in those nice areas and I talk to older people, they don't understand why I gotta do this for myself. I gotta get a name just because they keep putting me in a compartment. I literally would be going in the stores and they keep locking the door on me. I can't even shop like a normal human civilian. They think I'm a damn animal. I don't want to cut my hair. I'm trying to change my little brother's life. You know what I'm saying, man? This was a great video though. I really enjoyed the video. If y'all enjoy watching this video with me, I ain't gonna ask you for too much. I'm just gonna ask you to stay my family. You can subscribe, or even better, you could just watch another video. All right, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm MasoMoney. I am out.